Hey, what's up, everybody? I wanted to make another video with all the updates and news on RGBA Riverside. Wanted to start off with Mikey Garcia, 39-0, 30 knockouts, scheduled to fight Errol the True Spence at AT&T Stadium, where the Cowboys play. So now we're about 10 days away. His sparring partners are Alexis Rocha and Esquiva Falcao. Alexis is a 147-pounder. Esquiva Falcao fights at 160. He has a 140-pounder, Alfredo Escarcega from Arizona. I believe they're bringing him in for the speed. And then the newest addition to the sparring has been Carlos Adames, and he's a 154-pounder. On the fight card from RGBA, Jesse Bam Rodriguez is scheduled to fight, Louis Coria, Aaron Morales, Lindolfo Delgado, and Biggie Rodriguez from San Antonio. And then there's also been addition to the team, Daryl Hudson, which keeps Mikey in shape in terms of strength and conditioning. We have no further news on Abner Mares, 31-3-1. And then Josecito recently visited the gym in Riverside to see how sparring was going with Mikey. He fought in January, where he suffered a loss versus Keith One-Time Thurman. I have listed all their Instagram pages. That's where I get these photos from. So here on the bottom, the photo credit goes to @Jose Lopez. Jose Carlos Ramirez, 24-0, 16 knockouts. He fought a very tough southpaw, Chon Cepeda, Jose Chon Cepeda. And he's promoted by Top Rank. We'll see what's up next for him. The fight here in Fresno did very well. I believe it had 14,000 sold tickets, and the theme of the fight was surrounded around beating cancer. The manager, Rick Merizian, who goes by Promoter 559 on Instagram, presented the idea to Top Rank, and Top Rank ran with it. So it was a very, very nice theme for the bout there in Fresno. Brandon Bam Bam Rios, Robert said that he fought his last fight in Tijuana, Baja California, on a matchroom card versus Humberto La Zorrita Soto. It was a fight where Humberto La Zorrita Soto definitely was showing his age. Bam was bringing the action. La Zorrita was being very strategic and flurrying at the end of each round, and even hitting Brandon after the bell rang a couple times, which really, really upset Brandon, and called it to the ref's attention one round, I believe in the third, and then brought it to the fighter's attention. He said he brought it to La Zorrita's attention, say, hey, like threw his hands up in the air, why are you hitting me after the bell rings? And then coming to the corner, Robert kind of yelled at him and said, hey, get your head out of your ass, kind of thing, like focus, don't worry about that, like focus on what you're here for, you got to get the win, don't let him flurry. I couldn't read his lips, but I do have it on video. I zoomed into that corner. I haven't uploaded that video yet, but I will have that up pretty soon. Team Rios for his last training camp, he had Oxnard Cuate, I think his real name is Jody, and then a trainer, his name is Junior, that goes by on Instagram as _RebelFit. And then Young Quicks is the one that did the ring intro for him. So if this is true that this is Bam's last fight, his final record will be 35-5-1. There was a lot of emotion in the corner. I only made it to the 10th round. I wanted to exit the auditorium before I got stuck in there longer than I wanted to be in there. But definitely Robert, in between rounds was even hugging Brandon, saying, come on, this is your last one, this and that. Well, I couldn't read their lips, but after Robert did an interview and said, that they knew going into the fight that would be Brandon's last fight. Esquiva Falcao, 22-0, 15 knockouts. He is scheduled to fight for a championship. He is promoted by Top Rank. He will have a championship fight in March or in April. Robert said that he will be there for that fight. There's no date for it, and he has been brought in to give Mikey Garcia sparring from a tall southpaw heavy fighter. I got this picture from his Instagram at Esquiva Falcao, where you see him against 168-pound WBC champion David Benavides, who is scheduled to fight on the undercard. Eric De Leon, this is 18-0-1 with 10 knockouts. He's from, I believe he's from Detroit. He is going to fight March 23rd versus Maxim Mad Max Dadashev, 12-0 with 10 knockouts. I thought that Mad Max was being trained by Marco Contreras, but I found out through Instagram from Roger Romo that he moved trainers over to I forget his name, Buddy McGirt. So he is in the gym. He's been seen in the Riverside area, posting on his Instagram. You know, he was at Mount Rubidoux and training with Nate Arreola, and he has been seen in the gym. So this is a top-ranked fighter versus another top-ranked fighter, both of them undefeated. BoxRec does not show Eric De Leon as his opponent. They have a different name listed in there, but we'll see if this is true. And the photo credit goes to @TeamDeLeon1. Joshua El Profesor Franco, 14-1-1. No updates. He had to pull out of his fight in January. I think he was sick. He is promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. I believe he fights at 115. And we have no updates on him. If you want a photo, the photo credit goes to @Professor Franco. That's his Instagram. Hector Tanajara won a 4-round decision. It went to 4-round decision because of an accidental headbutt. He suffered a huge gash over his eyebrow. He was on the undercard there in Tijuana at the Auditorio Municipal. So he becomes the WBC Youth Champion. His opponent was Ivan Striker Delgado from, I believe it's from Los Angeles, South Los Angeles to be exact. And he improves to 17-0 with 5 knockouts. Hector Tanajara from San Antonio. Jonathan Thunder Navarro, 16-0, 8 knockouts. No updates on him. If you want to follow him on Instagram, it's @JonathanNavarro_16. Carlos Lincona lost his IBF strap versus DJ Creel. It was, I believe, a 3 knockdown rule in the 12th round, and he has lost his I believe he had the WBO Latino belt and then the IBF strawweight belt as well. So Carlos Lincona, first loss, 14-1 with 2 knockouts. He is from Orange County, and he fights through RGBA Riverside. If you want to follow him, then that's where I got this photo from, @Mexicanito12. Jose the Prodigy Vargas is scheduled to fight March 17th versus 10-2 Adriano Ramirez. I believe this fight is in New York. He is a fighter trained, promoted by Top Rank. I don't officially think he's with RGBA, but he does get a lot of sparring there. And this is the 3rd time we've seen him with RGBA, but he's also very active in New York. He's been seen on his Instagram in New York. If you want to follow him, he's @RealJosue Vargas. Virgil Ortiz Jr., 12-0, 12 knockouts. He was in Tijuana to support his stablemates, Hector Tanajara and Bam Rios, and the debut of Alexis Espino. So he is most likely going to be on the Cinco de Mayo card for Canelo, since he is promoted by Golden Boy Promotions and is one of their star prospects. I wouldn't call him a prospect anymore. He's more like a contender now. He's very, very good in the ring. He spars with Jose Carlos Ramirez. He spars all the 140-pounders at RGBA. So one of the top contenders from Golden Boy Promotions and from RGBA Riverside. So if you want to follow him on Instagram, the photo credit goes to @Virgil Ortiz. You can also follow his dad @Virgil Ortiz Sr., who gives a lot of insight on the boxing game. Joseph Adorno, 11-0, 10 knockouts, will be fighting on that same card along with Josue Vargas. His opponent is Victor Rosas, who is 10-8. If you want to follow him on Instagram, it's at Real Joseph Adorno. I think I have a typo right there. Between the S and the P, there should be an E. At Real Joseph Adorno. He goes by Blessed Hands. John El Terrible Bauza, one of the newest additions to RGBA Riverside, 11-0, 5 knockouts. He came via Top Rank. He's fighting on March 17th at the Madison Square Garden against 10-7-2 Angel Sarinana. The main event for that card will be Luis Colazo versus Sammy Vargas. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at Real John Bauza. Alejandro Porkchop Guerrero, 9-0, 7 knockouts. Robert was mentioning that he was scheduled to fight last December, but something fell through. I never saw it on BoxRec. So here he is fighting March 15th, the day before Errol Spence fights Mikey Garcia in Dallas at the Southern Junction nightclub. It will be a event promoted by Garcia Promotions with the help of Esferino Ramirez. If you want to follow him on Instagram, it's at porkchop_214. Alejandro Porkchop Guerrero fighting out of RGBA. Louis Coria was scheduled originally to fight on the April card in San Bernardino, but he has been moved over to the pay-per-view card on Fox with Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia. So he's got an opponent named Omar Garcia, who's 6-7-0. If you want to follow him, you can follow him at King Louis 416. Genaro El Conde Gamez, 8-0, 5 knockouts. He was originally scheduled to fight Ivan Striker Delgado at the Fantasy Springs the week earlier. For some reason or other, he had some complications in the last few days leading into the fight. He pulled out of the fight. And if you want to follow him on Instagram, it's at Genaro Gamez. Misael El Chino Rodriguez, 9-0, 4 knockouts. We have not seen him in the gym. We've not heard much from him. At Misael O-T-E-E, Misael Oti, on Instagram if you want to follow him. He is promoted by Ringstar Sports by Richard Schaefer, him and along with Lindolfo Delgado. Jesse Bam Rodriguez has also made the card for Mikey versus Errol. His opponent is 26-6, Rauf Agayev. If you want to follow him, that's where I got this photo from, at 210 BAM on Instagram. Lindolfo Delgado, 8-0, 8 knockouts, will be fighting on that same card, along with 4 other fighters from RGBA. He is fighting 5-1-0 James Roach. If you want to follow him on Instagram, that's where I got this photo from, at Lindolfo Delgado. Brandon Bulletproof Glanton, 8-0, 7 knockouts. His last win was January 26th. He fought on the undercard of stablemate Josecito Lopez versus Keith One-Time Thurman. If you want to follow him, that's where I got this picture from, at Bulletproof, at Team Bulletproof on Instagram. Manuel Flores, 7-0, 5 knockouts, no updates. You see him on the picture here with Abner Mares preparing him for what originally was to be a fight versus Tank Davis before suffering a detached retina. So the photo credit goes to at Gucci Manny. Isidro Ochoa, 7-0, 3 knockouts. He was on the undercard with on the undercard of the stablemate Jose Carlos Ramirez versus Jose Chon Cepeda, and he won on a 5th round TKO. He's a southpaw. He was also being used for Abner Mares in preparation for Tank Davis, which was canceled. If you want to follow him, that's where I got this photo from, at IGO_Ochoa. Brian Lua, we have not got any updates on him. Both Isidro Ochoa and Brian Lua are promoted by Top Rank. That's correct. If you want to follow him, where I got this picture from, at Brian_Lua. Aaron Morales, another fighter from RGBA Riverside. He is training to fight on March 16th on the Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence undercard. His opponent is 2-0 Fernando Robles. If you want to follow him, You can follow him at Aaron Morales with 3 S's at the end. At AARON_Morales, MORALESSS. Ray Danger Murataya, 6-0, 3 knockouts. He's from Fontana. He's scheduled to fight on April 26th at Prospects Collide 2.0. That's what I'm calling it. It's their second event held at the same location. Their first fight card was January 18th. Very successful for being their first event. Technically, it was their second event. They had one the night before Mikey fought Lipinets in San Antonio, if I'm not mistaken. But Prospects 2.0 is what I'm calling it. If you want to follow him on Instagram, it's at Ray_Murataya1, the number 1. Ruben Rodriguez, 4-0, 2 knockouts. He is fighting this weekend on the Porter versus Ugas fight card at the StubHub, now called the Dignity Health Park in Carson, California. His opponent is 0-1, Jeremiah de los Santos. I believe Ruben Rodriguez fights at 140. He is from the Coachella Valley. He is new to RGBA Riverside. And if you want to follow him on Instagram, it's at RubenNR_. He is not technically on BoxRec, or they have him as a typo. They have him in there as Jose Rodriguez. Who knows? That might be his first name, and Ruben might be his middle name. Who knows? So Ruben Rodriguez at RubenNR_. Brennan B-Fly Macias. So now that Louis has moved over to the fight in March, it sounds like B-Fly will be the main event for Prospects Collide 2.0. He's going to get the rematch versus Giovanni Noriega, who is 2-3-1. It's scheduled for April 26th. B-Fly is 3-0-1 with 2 knockouts. And an interesting fact is that Gio fights in a couple weeks, the same night of Mikey versus Spence at the Florentine Gardens in Hollywood, California. So if you want to follow B-Fly, it's at B_FLY301. Robert Biggie Rodriguez, 2-0, no knockouts. He is on the Mikey Spence undercard, opponent to be announced. If you want to follow him, he's at BIGGIEJR_. Very tragic accident for RGBA Riverside. Isaac Colunga, 3-0, 2 knockouts, from San Bernardino, originally from Corona. Suffered injuries in a drive-by shooting in Riverside. I don't have a lot of the details, but Ali has been posting updates. The majority of the RGBA, like Pita and Robert, have posted to keep Isaac Lunga in their prayers. That's pretty much all the information I have. He suffered injuries from a drive-by shooting over the weekend, so keep him in your prayers. If you want to follow him, he's at team_Kulunga. So prayers for Isaac Kulunga. Manny Rodriguez, he's the little brother to Ruben Rodriguez from Coachella Valley. He goes by Big Baby, and he spars a lot of the fighters. I think he's still an amateur. He has no professional fights. If you want to follow him, he's at MannyTRE on Instagram. Alexis El Macizo Espino, he got a second round knockout in Tijuana. I recorded the fight. I have not posted it on my YouTube channel, but he's scheduled to fight again April 26th at the Forum in Inglewood on a matchroom card. The main event being El Gallo Estrada versus Rumvasai, the rematch. So if you want to follow him, that's where I got this picture. Here he is seen with sparring David Benavidez, 168-pound David Benavidez, WBC champion. If you want to follow him, he's at _ALEXIS Espino1, Alexis Espino1, _Alexis Espino1. He is signed by Matchroom, by Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing, and the fight is on DAZN. So if you want to catch that clip, DAZN has a real nice clip on Twitter and on Instagram when he knocked out his opponent. So the photo credit goes to his Instagram page at _Alexis Espino1 from Las Vegas. Evan Sanchez, 3-0, 2 knockouts. He's a welterweight. It sounds like him and his family will be operating the new RGBA Central Valley facility. And if you want to follow him, he's at Evan Sanchez _98. Jeremy Magic Hands Adorno. He is the little brother of Joseph Blessed Hands Adorno. He has also signed very recently to Top Rank. He had a hand injury, and it sounds like he had surgery on it. So his pro debut has, I believe he was going to pro debut earlier in the month with the Raging Babe out in Pennsylvania, but I think that got postponed with his surgery on his hand. Anthony, the real too pretty Chavez, 7-0, 2 knockouts. He is scheduled to fight again. He fought January 18th on the Prospects Collide card, and then he's scheduled to fight on what I'm calling Prospects Collide 2.0, April 26th at the same venue, and his opponent is to be announced. His Instagram, if you want to follow him, is at the real too pretty. Wesley Diana, he's not officially part of RGBA Riverside, but I like to keep track on him because he is a fighter trained by Fernando El Ferros Vargas. So he's 7-0 with 6 knockouts. Wesley Diana, if you want to follow him, he's at Wesley_Diana from Las Vegas. Jose Maria Chema Delgado, also kind of removed from RGBA Riverside. I don't think he actually officially trains there anymore, but he trained for another fight. He fought in Culiacan, Sinaloa on February 22nd, and he got the win. So he improves to 2-0 with 3 draws. Jose Maria Chema Delgado. If you want to follow him on Instagram, where I got this picture from, at E1_Chema, at E1_CHEMAA. This is a tweet that I put out with all their fights in January. So officially, I could put out another tweet with their February updates, with wins by Jose Ramirez and Isidro Ochoa, and a loss with Lincona. Their record moved to 10-2-1, and then now after the wins and losses from BAM and the other 2 wins from RGBA, they improved to 12-3-1. So I might put that tweet out today or sometime soon. So if you enjoyed the video, please comment in the comment section. I'm at Sonteo_media. I do my best to keep updates on the fighters and on the trainers, and then also like to give a photo credit to at Crown Boxing for Mikey versus the Spence flyer, and then also give photo credit to Cumbia, KUMBIAA_, as he is the official photographer for Team RGBA. So I also like to give photo credit to all the Instagram pages of the fighters, trainers, and managers. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe. I'm at Sonteo_media. Thanks. Have a good one.